It's match day number 2 here in Whippeal section volleyball as the Gateway Gators take on the Armstrong Riverhawks here on Gateway Gators Productions. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Spencer Witt. Both of these teams looking for their first victory in section play in the 2024 season. Armstrong with a record of 2-3. They are 0-1 in section play. On the other side for the Gators of Gateway, 0-2 with an 0-1 record in the section as well, section 2 of 2A. Armstrong fell to Mars in their first section match on April 2nd. This is a team that went last year 2-8 in 2A, section 2, but don't count out this team. Some wins against Mount Lebanon and Penn Hills this year so far in this one, and that's the common opponent that both these two teams have is the Penn Hills Indians. Armstrong was able to defeat them 3-0. On the other side for Gateway, 3-0 loss to Penn Hills and a 3-0 loss to the to Derry in section play. As lineups being announced for Gateway. Darius Farrar for the Gators.
Owen
Etchegary, the defensive specialist.
Seniors. Number 35, Jake Santo.
Jake Santo.
Number 19,
one of the
Jacob
seniors.
Borowski.
Jacob
Number
Borowski.
11, Keegan Kuiper.
Keegan Kuiper.
Number 12, Ryan Hoffner.
Ryan Hoffner.
Number 29, Alec Dunsmore.
Alec Dunsmore.
Number 8, Jace Beam. And number 9, Chase
Setter.
Anthony.
Chase Anthony and Setter. A lot of seniors on this team for the Gators. We'll be talking about that during the broadcast. Hey, take a look at the head coach, Phil Randolph, for the Gators. This match getting started around 7:40. This was supposed to be a 7 o'clock match start in the varsity match, but you can thank or blame, depending on what your position on this is. You can thank the Gators, the JV team, a comeback victory against the Riverhawks JV team. Armstrong took the first set, and the Gators took the second and the third. So congratulations to the junior varsity team for the Gators on their comeback victory. A lot of the players on the Riverhawks, a handful of them that will actually be playing, were on the JV team as well. This is a Riverhawks team that only a handful of players, you can tell their entire bench, their entire team, I should say, is huddled up. That is everyone on the Riverhawks. 15 players in all for Gateway. They've got numbers 1 through 35, and there's really only bits and pieces here and there that are not used between the JV and the varsity teams. So a very deep bench and a deep roster for Gateway. On the other side for Armstrong, not as deep, but sometimes that plays into your own favor. You've warmed up in the JV match for a couple of these players that are coming in as head coach Andrea Lasher, making sure that the rotation is correct. Both of these teams, technically speaking, are wearing white. Armstrong's got one of the more interesting jerseys I think I've ever seen in high school volleyball. They've got the Riverhawks, and you can see the hawk feathers going up their jerseys while they have the shading from the orange. The white goes to the blue for the Riverhawks. It's a very nice jersey, I gotta admit. Very impressive, to say the least. Gateway, of course, in their white jerseys as well. The libero is in the Vegas gold, and it will be Gateway who will serve first. Jace Beam will serve this one, and we're underway here on Gateway Gators Productions. To the outside for the Riverhawks, denied, roofed at the net. Alec Dunsmore was there along with Jake Santo. And Beam will serve again for Gateway. Into the middle, this one pushed over, passed up though by the Gators. Into the middle again, Santo. Passed up by Brandon Savinda. And that one does go over on a free ball. To the outside, off of the block, and tooling the block is Ryan Hoffner for the Gators, one of the seniors for Gateway. Hoffner has been a part of this Gateway Gators team on the varsity team since I believe he was a sophomore. Valuable playing time for him in his final season here for the Gators. Farrar with a big swing. That one bounces around. It is still playable if it hits the ceiling, and actually probably favored Armstrong there because it would have just kept trailing. Back over, though, and Dunsmore finishes it off for the Gators. Alec Dunsmore, the senior for Gateway, also on the basketball team. Dunsmore playing in the winter. And Beam will continue to serve. 3-0 is the score. Passed up. It's an overpass at the net. Nice block, though, from Armstrong, and they'll work on offense now. To the outside. Denied again at the net. Dunsmore again for the Gators. And it's 4-0. A good start for Gateway. Jace Beam will serve again. Beam serves it over. It is passed up by Nathan Rosenberger. Rosenberger will roll it over. Rosenberger, nice spot to drop that one in for the senior. 6'4", listed as an outside hitter. Was in the back row and now has gotten himself up to the front. And that's what Armstrong would like to see. In the back row now this time is Brendan Savinda. Savinda will send it over. Farrar passes that one up to the backside. Off of the block, it's out of bounds. Was it touched by the Gators, or excuse me, was it touched by the Riverhawks? I don't believe it was, so a point for Armstrong, and Savinda will come back to serve again. Back-to-back points for Armstrong. Savinda sends it over, passed up into the middle, and that one just not on the same page with the middle hitter, Jake Santo. The setter, Jace Beam, sent that one too high. Looking for a 2-ball, I believe, and it was more of a little too high for that 2-ball, so timing off with Santo. Served over by Savinda again, 4-2. 4-3, yes it is. They changed the score now. To the outside, down the line, and Armstrong has responded, 4-4. And Savinda will serve again for Armstrong. That one short into the net, and a point for the Gators. Owen Echegari will come in to serve. Junior for the Gators. Defensive specialist sends it over. It's passed up by number 9, Alec Formani. And that one out of bounds from the Riverhawks. Point for the Gators. 6-4, Gateway. Up early in this one, and the Gators will serve again from Owen Echegari. Passed up again by, that one denied at the net. Jake Santo, another roof. You hear the bench yelling roof on that one. Nathan Rosenberger sent that one right into the arms of Santo. Echegari will serve again. Served over, passed up by Formani, blocked again, denied again, this time. Alec Dunsmore and Jake Santo were both there for it. I believe that was Dunsmore who got his arms on it. And Echegari will serve. Served over, 8-4, passed up by Savinda. To the outside, Rosenberger off the block. Kept up by the libero, that's Sam Jacobs. Someone's got to get to it, Savinda does, a free ball. Gateway on offense, Santo, passed up though. Into the middle, off of the block from number 6, and that one into the net. And a point for Gateway, and a timeout taken by Armstrong, a 9-4 lead early on in this one. Real quick, I do apologize to the Armstrong fans. I do not have a number 6 on my roster. Now I'm just gonna run through the numbers to see who I do have and who I don't have in terms of who it could be. Middle hitter for the Riverhawks. There's 3 middle hitters listed. William Young, Matt McLafferty, and Gabe Schreckengast. McLafferty and Young are both listed as seniors. So out of the timeout now, Owen Echegary will serve. Served over, passed up by Savinda. Rafe Hankey sends it over on 2. Dunsmore pushes that one over, passed up by Sam Jacobs to the outside. That one off of Echegary, but responding is Nathan Rosenberger. Aiden McKay will come in for Armstrong. McKay played in the JV match this just earlier on as Sam Jacobs, the libero, sends that one into the net. Service error, and Gateway, first ones to break double digits here. And Jake Santo, the middle blocker, will come back to serve. Santo just kind of pushes that one over, passed up by Savinda. To the outside, tight on the net, and that one will drop in. Not how they wanted it, but regardless, a point for the Riverhawks. Sam Dosh will come in for Armstrong. And Rafe Hankey will serve. Served over into the middle. Big swing and a net violation, I believe. Yes, it will be on Armstrong. That was Jacob Poloski who sent that one over for the Riverhawks. No correction, a net violation on Poloski. My apologies. And it will be a point for the Riverhawks. Hankey will serve. Back up, Dunsmore, blocked down. Rosenberger and Aiden McKay will get credit for the block. Hankey will serve for Armstrong. Served over, passed up to the outside. Farrar down the line, and Farrar puts that one in the corner. Nice placement from number 6 for Gateway, Darius Farrar. Junior, just at 6'2". Thomas Naku will serve. Sends this one over off an arm, off the shoulder of the libero to the outside, off the block, passed up by Keegan Kuiper, the libero. Farrar goes down. I don't know if he slipped. Looked like he might have slipped on something. Thought maybe he had stepped on the foot of Poloski, but instead, Farrar, good to see he's all right though. He steps on that little mat that they have in volleyball and basketball that like is adhesive basically, so it just kind of cleans off your shoes. One tipped over, dropped in for Gateway as it does hit the ground. Good effort though from Armstrong, and a point for the Gators. And give Armstrong some credit here though. This was a 9-5 match at one point. It was 10-6, and now it's 12-10. So Riverhawks are hanging around here in this first set. Farrar will serve to try and run this one back, but instead he'll run that ball too far. And it's a service error for Farrar. Point for the Riverhawks. Aiden McKay will come back to serve. McKay sends it over, passed up by Keegan Kuiper to the outside, off the block, kept up by Rosenberger for Armstrong. Back over for the Gators. That one cross court and out of bounds. A point for the Riverhawks, and they've tied it up here in this first set. Aiden McKay will serve again. Into the middle, Poloski, and that one off of Rosenberger. He couldn't put that one towards the circle. And instead, no one able to reach that one for the Riverhawks. Point for Gateway. Libero Sam Jacobs comes back in. Passed over on the serve from Keegan Kuiper. That one kept up. Naku will set that one. Pushed back over by Santo, but nice play from Armstrong to keep it alive. to the outside. And again, they have to fight for it, and hitting the rafters is the problem for Brendan Savinda. It was a good up from Sam Jacobs, just that's the problem. It's a lower ceiling. You've got all these beams going across, and that's the problem. Is you hit that, you don't know where the ball's going to be going next. This one off the block, just touched over. Good effort from Gateway, though, and they respond. Heads-up play from Rosenberger trying to catch Gateway off guard, but able to collect themselves, and Jace Beam is going to get the kill as Kuiper will serve again. Rosenberger passes it up to the outside. That one too far, and a point for Gateway, and they're starting to run away a little bit here. 16-12 early in this first set. Armstrong has taken one timeout already. And Keegan Kuiper will serve. Kuiper in the air, in the middle, touched, and now he's going to fight at it, and instead the middle blocker sends that one into the net, and a point for the Gators. That one too far. Point for the Riverhawks, and it will be number 4 who will serve. Sam Dosh passed up into the middle, going across, but that one out of bounds. Right idea. Jake Santos saw the opening, but couldn't keep that one inside the white lines. Point for the Riverhawks. 17-14. Back-to-back points for Armstrong to hang around as we approach the latter half of this set. Served over, passed up by Kuiper. To the right side, Beam, and that one off of the fist, I believe, of Chase Beam, but he gets the point, touches the block, and then just spins away from Armstrong. Point for the Gators, 18-14. Chase Beam will serve again for Armstrong, or for Gateway, excuse me, as someone's got to get to that one. It's sent over on a free ball from Armstrong. To the right side, Dunsmore with the big kill. Alec Dunsmore was a middle blocker last season, is transitioned over to the right side, and the timeout taken by Armstrong, and the Gateway bench is loving that one. 19-14. Early on in this first set. Again, both these teams looking for their first victory in section play. Gateway fell to Derry 3-0 on Tuesday. Mars defeated the Riverhawks of Armstrong 3-0 on Tuesday as well. Both of those teams, of course, being 1-0. Both of these teams 0-1. Got a 19-14 lead here for Gateway. After the timeout. And Jace Beam will serve. Beam sends that one over. It's passed up to the outside. Kept up. Is it going to hit anything? No, it will not. Jace Beam's right there for it. Big swing from number 12, Ryan Hoffner, but it's passed up for the Riverhawks. Tipped over. Kept up, and back on offense for Armstrong. Into the middle, blocked. One block on the one hand from Jake Santo as he keeps the left hand hanging there for a little while. Santo looked like he kind of missed his block attempt, or missed where he was going for it. And last second was able to put a hand up. And he got the block. Back into the middle again. Kept alive, sent over, and that one will be bouncing around the body of Jake Santo, and a point for number 6 and the Riverhawks. And Brendan Savinda will serve. Savinda's serve, passed up. Hoffner tools the block. Point for Gateway. 21-15. Owen Echegary will come in and serve for for Gateway, 21-15 lead for the Gators. Served over, passed up to the outside. Too strong on that one from number 22, Nathan Rosenberger, and a point for Gateway, 22-15. Served over again by Echegary, and this one will be tipped over, kept up though by Echegary. To the backside, Dunsmore. That one kept up, it bounces around, and unfortunately no one for Armstrong can get to it. The muscle from the right side hitter, Alec Dunsmore. You see those beams and lights that are up there playing a factor, especially for Armstrong, the big swings from Gateway. Again, as long as it bounces and it's playable, is another block. That's not playable for the Riverhawks. And a point for Gateway is a 24-15 lead. A good finish here potentially for the Gators as they have set point number 1 here. Served over, passed up by Savinda. Into the middle, touched, and it'll be dropped in, and the heart monitor still beating in this set for the Riverhawks. As a point for Armstrong. Aiden McKay will come in the middle for the for the Riverhawks, And served over by Sam Jacobs. Into the middle, Farrar. They actually went with the surprise. Had Farrar behind the middle blocker. He called it a shocker when we were playing Robert Morris. Everyone calls it a little bit different things. You're just not expecting a player behind the middle blocker there. Outside Farrar, and that one will go over. Kept alive. Is that going to be playable? That is not going to be playable. It will go outside of the antenna. Really good effort from Armstrong. But the first set goes to the Gators. 25-17. And Gateway earns their first set victory in section play here in the 2024 season. A 1-0 lead right now for the Gators. A handful of people coming for the crowd here. It was a gloomy-ish day. It's been a gloomy couple of days here in the greater Pittsburgh area. We're in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Eastern side of Pittsburgh. It has been raining, a mix of snow today too even, but the weather will kind of get better depending on what your definition of better is. It will not be raining for this weekend, but it will be cold, in the 40s at best. But spring is around the corner, of course, with Whippeal spring sports starting up. Boys and girls lacrosse. You'll see track and field, of course, boys volleyball like you see here as well. A lot of different sports taking place. Softball also in the mix as well. As you take a look at the upcoming broadcasts, boys volleyball against Mount Lebanon on Saturday, April 13th. That match was moved earlier from a couple weeks ago. On Thursday, April 18th, volleyball back in action again against Penn Hills. That's a non-section match. And on the 23rd, volleyball against Mars. And then you'll have boys lacrosse versus Plum and Penn Trafford on the 25th and 30th. Nate Preisinger will be on the calls for those ones on the lacrosse side. I'll be on the calls for the Thursday and Tuesday volleyball matches against Penn Hills and Mars. I believe Bob Ornquist, correct, will be on the Saturday one. Yeah, that's correct. So a handful of matches and games coming up here in Gateway Gators Productions. Of course, your home for all video for Gateway Gators Sports. 25-17 first set victory for Gateway, looking to take advantage of what was an early start for them in the set. Armstrong fought back, tied it up, I believe, around the 12-point mark. And then Gateway just kind of ran away with it after that. I believe they had 12 of the last 16 points. 12 of the last 17 points, correction. So the Gators winning in a commanding first set, 25-17. Is Armstrong? I had to wonder if they'll look to change anything up, or we'll see what the adjustments will be made from Andrea Lasher and her squad. And they will have Nathan Rosenberger, who will serve first. For the Riverhawks, who are underway here in this second set. On Gateway Gators Productions, Farrar staying for one on the right side, and he gets the point. 1-0 lead here in this second set for Gateway. Some confusion on the ball. Farrar gets one back, so he'll throw the other one back towards the scorer's table, and he'll serve this one over. Into the middle, tipped, kept alive. And Farrar, and that was Mark DePalma, I believe. Yeah, number 23, the senior middle hitter for Gateway. That's Farrar's ball. DePalma is a middle blocker. You don't go backwards when you're in the middle. DePalma was there, and Farrar did call it, but couldn't get out of the way. And a point for Riverhawks, but a overpass and no one there for Armstrong. One of the most frustrating things in volleyball is to have a play like that happen where it's clearly a ball that really anyone could take and anyone could pass that one up, but no one did. Back in high school, we'd have to hit the floor and do a push-up if that happened for us. Is this one out of bounds? Touch call. And it will be Rafe Hankey who will serve. 2 apiece here in this second set. Hankey, second ball from Keegan Kuiper to the right side. That's the outside hitter, Ryan Hoffner, and Hoffner sends that one too far out, and a point for the Riverhawks. 3-2 now. As Rafe Hankey will serve. Hankey sends it over. Tight on the net, into the net, and a point for Armstrong from Jake Santo. Santo's got a good vertical, no doubt about that. It's just the timing there between the set and the attack. Oh, correction, that one went over. Might have been a call against Armstrong, yes there was. And a net violation again for Armstrong here. So a point for Gateway. Ryan Hoffner will serve. In the middle. Nice play for Armstrong to get the point. Brendan Savindo will come to serve for Armstrong, 4-apiece here in this second set. Served over, passed up by Santo. They go back to him, and he puts that one down. Jake Santo, nice swing from him. Has a special handshake with Chase Anthony. Work on that a lot, because they'll probably be using it a lot. Nice swing and a nice kill from Jake Santo. Owen Echegary will serve. Serves it over, passed up by Sam Jacobs to the outside off the block. Kept up, though, by Hankey. Dosh will set that one. Rosenberger, but it's passed up. A nice dig from Etchegari. Farrar off of Rosenberger in the back row. Sent over from Savinda. Santo drops it in for the point for Gateway. Santo again in the middle for the Gators. Etchegari will serve, passed up. Title in net, but a good set to the outside. Rosenberger kept alive by Etchegari. Nice play from Keegan Kuiper too. Kuiper's got to get back. Here comes the offense for the Riverhawks, and they respond. Sam Dosh for the point. The junior for Armstrong. 8 seniors for the Armstrong Riverhawks. Backside, passed up, and just doesn't roll off the net like the Riverhawks were hoping for. That's a tough play, but a point for number 8, Jace Beam for the Gators. 7-5 now, Gateway. Served over, title in net, passed up to the outside, Farrar, and that one off the arms of Sam Jacobs, and a point for Gateway from Darius Farrar. Santo will serve into the net though from him, and a point for the Riverhawks. 8-6. Back and forth. Served over, passed up by Etchegari. To the outside, Farrar. Farrar responds. That one off the blocker, and only one blocker. And a point for Gateway is Rafe Hankey. Give him credit, was there for the block. It just spun off of his arm. Couldn't put that one over the other side. 9 serving 6 for the Gators. Backside, down the line, responding Rosenberger. Next swing from him, and the kill for Nathan Rosenberger, one of the seniors for Armstrong. Mentioned before, Alan Lynn, Jordan Harmon, Aiden McKay, William Young, Matt McClafferty, Everett Walker, Nathan Rosenberger, and Jake Harmon are the seniors for Armstrong. As McKay, one of the seniors, tries to put that one up, and that one out of bounds. Hoffner lets that one go out of play, and a point for Gateway, 10-7. Farrar serves it over, passed up by Sam Jacobs. Sam Dosh slipping there on the set, but he's all right, and will continue to play on here as he'll set this one up for the Riverhawks to the outside, tipped. Kept alive from Gateway, and a free ball sent over from Keegan Kuiper. Into the middle, McKay, and that one not touched by Gateway. 4 points, or 4 touches as the call, and 1 point for the Gators. 11-7. Darius Farrar will serve. Passed up to the right side, and that one too far for Rafe Hankey, a point for the Gators. Alec Formani will come in for the Riverhawks. Served over to the right side. That one too far. Was there a touch? No, there was not. Point for the Riverhawks. Real quick, while Alec Formani has come in, him and his twin brother, Max Formani, playing on the Riverhawks. Max Formani is listed at 5 feet 5 inches. As this one served into the net, into the antenna from Aiden McKay. Alec Formani, and I'm told this is by design and on purpose, is listed at 5.5346 inches. So 5 foot 5.346. As this one off of the fingertips, and a point for the Gators. will be a timeout taken by Armstrong, so a 14-8 lead for the Gators. If you're a Gateway Gators fan, this is what you like to see starting this second set as well after Gateway took the first set 25-17. Gator team last year went 10-6 overall, 6-4 in their section. They finished 4th in the section. Last team from Section 2 to qualify for the Whippeal playoffs. They took on the perennial #1 team Montour last year. They were defeated 3-0. Montour, a very good team last year, but Montour did not win the Whippeal championship last season. Keegan Kuiper will serve this one over, and it's one out of rotation, or no, correction. I don't know what happened there. I heard the whistle. I thought I did, and then I heard another whistle. Served over, back into the air. And a free ball sent over from Formani. Into the middle, Santo off speed. That was set a little to his right, a little low, so he just tips it right over where no one's at. And a 15-8 lead as this one served over again, tight on the neck. Passed up by Hoffner to the outside off of the block, and a point for Gateway. It's the Gators, number 25, Diego Valentin Petrie, who gets the point. Valentin Petrie is senior for the Gators. This one out of bounds. And a point for Gateway again, 16-8. And Armstrong is struggling right now to side out here, 17-8, correction. Served over to the right side off of the block, and Rafe Hankey will side out for the Riverhawks. Much needed for Hankey. The junior setter slash opposite hitter sends this one over, off a couple players. And a point for Ryan Hoffner. Hoffner serves it over, diving in to try and get to it, Sam Jacobs, but it goes under the net, 19-9. And a double-digit lead now for the Gators in this set. Hoffner serves it over again, passed up by Formani. Backside, big swing, kept up by Kuiper. Beam has to get to it. And that one inside the lines off the block. A nice block. Number 6 was there for Armstrong. And at number 10, Savinda, who will serve. Served over by Savinda. In the middle, and Santo gets the point. Jake Santo for Gateway. I always say in volleyball, great teams are run through their middles. Of course, being a former middle myself, I have to say that, but if you can have such a good middle that can either tip or have hard swings and cut the ball to the left or right when there's a block up there, it sets up where your outsides will more likely than not have opportunities for only one blocker, because that middle blocker is so focused on the other middle that they're not going to be able to get out to the outsides and to the right sides as quickly as they want to. When you have teams that only have an outside hitter, those middles will cheat over very often and get your double block. But if you have a middle blocker and a good setter that knows how to set to the middle and the outsides, it's a very deadly combo and very tough defensively to track down. And that's something that Gateway, I think, could really work through here. They have a lot of good players in the middle in terms of players like Santo. Poloski was also up there in the middle as well. You open up the outsides for Farrar, Ryan Hoffner, even Jace Beam. Alec Dunsmore on the right side as well, so a deep squad here for the Gators. Just 2 years ago, they won their section for the first time in 36 years. Actually, for the first time, correction, I believe, in their 36 years of playing volleyball. Is this one blocked and put back down for Gateway? Beam and Santo were both over there for it. Owen Echegare will be back to serve, 21-10. Served over, title in net. It's gonna be put over. Santo will touch it back. Back set off the block, kept alive, but only momentarily. Good block from the Riverhawks. 21-11. Served over, passed up. Outside Farrar, and Farrar gets the kill. Darius Farrar. Savinda's got to stay stronger on that one. He tried to turn his body, kind of have it roll upwards off of his arms, but instead it just skimmed off the arm and went backwards. Backside, played by Santo, but only momentarily. Not a good touch from him. It's that one chance that he plays in the back row as the middle blocker that serves. Keegan Kuiper comes back in as the libero. Point for the Riverhawks, 22-12 now. Served over. Title in net in the middle. That one's going to be out of bounds for Mark De Palma. Back-to-back points now for the Riverhawks. Served over by Sam Dosh. To the right side off of the block, and a solo block from Rosenberger. 3 in a row now for the Riverhawks as Gateway trying to close this set out. Armstrong's putting up a fight here at the end. Served over, passed up by Kuiper. To the outside, Farrar, that's off speed, and it's a little bit behind him, so he has to stop and roll it over. Gets the point, though, for Gateway. Jace Beam will serve. Beam serve, passed up by Rosenberger. They go back to him on the right side. Nice up from Kuiper with no blockers over there. Farrar rolls this one just a bit too far. Right idea, wrong place for Darius Farrar. And now Rosenberger's in the back row. That puts Savinda up front. And they're outside here, and Rosenberger will serve. Passed up by Keegan Kuiper. Title in net, and that's going to be a point for the Riverhawks as the libero breaks the plane of the net, tries to bring that one back. And Rosenberger will serve again. It's the line judge, Bertram J.R. Sherman, putting his flag up even before that one was really even close to being on the ground. Yeah, just as good of an eye as all the Gators did, and they let that one go, and a service error. Set point for the Gators. Rolled over, passed up. Kuiper will take the second ball. Hoffner off of the block, it's played. And that one's good. Closed fist for Gateway, but sent over from Hankey. Smart play from Rafe Hankey. Tight on that net there, so he decides to just throw it down himself. Gateway will serve, or excuse me, Riverhawks will serve, still set point for Gateway. Hoffner Good play to keep that one up by Savinda. Back on offense again for Gateway. Pushed over by Savinda. That will be played because it's in the lines. And it will be a double hit on the Gators. So Armstrong is hanging around. I mean, it's still set point, but it's 24-18. Miscues from the Gators. Is served over by Aiden McKay. Outside, passed up. Dosh in the bump set. Savinda doesn't get that one over, and that will be the set. 25-18. The Gators take the second set. And they lead this one 2-0 as we'll take a quick stoppage here for the third set between the Gators and the Riverhawks here on Gateway Gators Productions. Welcome back here for set number 3 between the Gators and the Riverhawks here on Gateway Gators Productions. The Gators took the first 2 sets, 25-17 and 25-18, as that's going to be a lift on Hoffner, who just reacts to that ball. First point goes to the Riverhawks here in this third set. Must win for Armstrong to keep this match going. The Gators looking to close out with a sweep. As Savinda will, or excuse me, that's McKay who will serve Hoffner, and Hoffner drops it in for the point. A couple of new players in the match for the Gators. Well, one specifically is number 3, Daniel Bozasevic. The sophomore for the Gators. Is this one too far on the serve? Aiden Gerhardt will come in and pass for the Gators. Gerhardt, another senior on this team. Hankey will serve this one. Served over, passed up, and Farrar sends over a free ball. Passed to the outside, Savinda off the block, and the block isn't tight enough. Jacob Poloski swinging his arms there as a blocker. He swung that ball into the net on his own side. So a point for Armstrong at 3-1. Early start here for the Riverhawks. In the middle, Poloski, nice dig, from Hankey. Tipped over by Savinda, and it drops in. Good sweeping motion from Poloski, and some would say that's a lucky roll. Others would say that was by design. If you ask Savinda, it was a lucky roll. If you ask Poloski, by design, and he earns himself the serve. Passed up by Fermani, blocked, kept up. Fermani punches that one in the air. Farrar off the block again. Farrar will touch that one over, and Armstrong works on offense. To the right side, Savinda. And kept up by the Gators into the net, though, and a point for Armstrong, and 4-2 the lead here for the Riverhawks, who are fighting to stay alive in this match. Savinda serve. Farrar off his arms. Kuiper swinging to get that one alive. Nice play from him. And Armstrong back on offense. Into the middle, tipped, out of bounds. No touch, point for the Gators. Alec Dunsmore comes back in for the Gators. So does Thomas Naku. Who will serve. Junior for the Gators. Serve too far, and 2 of the 5 points, for the Riverhawks have been on service errors from Gateway. They'll take that if you're Armstrong, and miscues from the Gators. The difference is denied at the net. Rosenberger and Aiden McKay over there on the block for Riverhawks. A 6-3 lead now for Armstrong. Short serve, it's going to go over the net. Dunsmore will have to play it. And Farrar sends over a free ball. Gateway is not getting their offense going how they want to early in this set. And Nathan Rosenberger with the point for the Riverhawks. Sloppy play from the Gators right now, and Armstrong is capitalizing. Jacobs will serve. It's passed up by Kuiper to the outside. Dunsmore sends that one down. Alec Dunsmore responding for Gateway, and a much-needed kill for the Gators. Ryan Hoffner comes back in for Gateway. Farrar will serve. That will be played, but Max Fermani can't get that one higher into the air. I think he was debating as to whether he wanted to play it or not. Made the right call because it was going to be in, but didn't go anywhere for him. An ace for Farrar as this one served over. Passed up by Jacobs, rolled over by McKay to the right side. Dunsmore, and Dunsmore goes cross court with the kill. Nice kill from Alec Dunsmore. Gateway has brought it back within one now. Farrar will serve. Farrar's serve into the net. Service error from Darius Farrar. Sam Dosh will serve. 8-6 Armstrong lead here early in this third set. Must win for the Riverhawks. Dunsmore, that one doesn't go over. Point for Armstrong. And again, bad swings and miscues from Gateway have given Armstrong several points. Hoffner off the block. It's kept alive. That one off of the block again. How no one got in the net, I don't know. But regardless, Dunsmore played by Fermani to the right side, and responding is Rosenberger. This is the Armstrong team that you like to see in this third set. You're a Riverhawks fan. 10-6. Served over into the middle. Big swing from De Palma to the outside. That one way too far, and a point for Gateway. 10-7. Keegan Kuiper will serve into the net. Service error from Keegan Kuiper. That's 4 now, I believe, in this set. They're giving Armstrong points and giving Armstrong a chance to come back in this match. Served over, goes off Kuiper. Played by Farrar. Hoffner, and no touch. Out of bounds. Armstrong's just playing conservative volleyball right now. They're just getting the ball over. And Gateway, aggressive in their play, as this is an overpass put back down by Rafe Hankey. And now, Phil Randolph cannot be happy with how his team has been playing in this set. He's going to let it ride for a little bit now, 13-7. 6-point lead is Rosenberger didn't like the toss. And so they'll let him do it again. He serves this one over, and it's too far. A point for Gateway. Daniel Bozasevic will come back in, so will Jace Beam. Replacing De Palma and Dunmore. Served over. Tight of the net in the middle, kept up by number 8, Jace Beam. This one into the net. Bozasevic tried to take a weird angle on it, and a point for Armstrong. 15-8. Correction, 14-8. Aiden McKay serves. Passed up. Beam has to get to it. Bozasevic, excuse me, will roll it over. It goes off the block, but no one there. And a point for Gateway, 14-9. Served by Hoffner. Passed up. Tight in the net, no one can get there. Armstrong. Frustrating points. Now they're giving away points to the Gators. Hoffner passed up. Good pass to the right side. Beam is there for it. Farrar takes the second ball. Bozasevic into the net. You got to roll that one over. Just bump it over. You can't take that angle if you're Bozasevic. But a point for Armstrong and 15-10 now. Rafe Hankey will serve. Served over, passed up by Keegan Kuiper. Into the middle. Nice dig from Alec Fermani. Bumped over. Kuiper plays that one. To the outside, Farrar. Farrar responds for the Gators. 15-11 now. So that brings Poloski back to serve. DePalma is up front. And that one kept up but out of play from Aiden Gerhardt. And a point for Armstrong, 16-11. Brendan Savinda will serve. Cross court, that one's in. Point for Farrar. Nice cut there from Darius Farrar. Dunsmore comes back in. So now William Hansman in for the Gators. Now, granted, they have about 500 players on their team, but Phil Randolph makes more substitutions than I think any team I've seen in WPIAL volleyball. And rightfully so. He's got a bench and several players that can step up whenever needed, especially if one player is down or just not having the game that they're looking for. Is a point for the Riverhawks. 17-12 now. Sam Jacobs will serve. Jacobs serve, passed up. To Palma in the middle, but he skies that one. Fermani passes it. Off the block and a point for Armstrong. And Armstrong's looking like the more well-rounded team right now. Scrappy volleyball for Armstrong, and that's how they're winning this set right now, 18-12. Outside Dunsmore off the block, and the Riverhawks get the block. Aiden McKay with the hands, and now Phil Randolph will take a timeout. Trying to rally his troops here, 19-12. Armstrong 6 points away from forcing a fourth set. What we're looking at right now, a 7-point lead for Armstrong. You can tell from the expressions of the Riverhawks teammates, their team, as they come onto the court, they're feeling good right now. And rightfully so. Sam Jacobs will serve. Passed up to the outside. Dunsmore, only one blocker, he puts it down. Alec Dunsmore for the Gators. That's the response you need. Now Hoffner comes in. You got Hoffner, Dunsmore, and DePalma in the front row. Darius Farrar will serve. To the outside off of the block, and Rosenberger's just going to keep doing that. He's been very successful getting the ball off of the Gateway Gators blockers and just tooling the block. Those blocks need to be closed for the Gators in order to stop Rosenberger. Serve from a Gateway, 23 to 13, or 20 to 13, excuse me, off of the block in Dunsmore. Tools him that time. That brings Poloski in the front row. Kuiper will serve. Short serve, passed up by Fermani to the right side. Kept up, it does not hit anything, so it's played. Blocked, and Poloski denies McKay at the net. 20 to 15. Gateway trying to go on a run here to corral this set back. Keegan Kuiper serves, passed up. Has to roll over from Hankey. Dunsmore into the net. The aggression from Alec Dunsmore. It's not the set he's looking for. It goes into the net, though. That's the problem on that swing there, and 21 to 15. That brings Rosenberger into the back row now. De Palma. That one will be played. Tight on the net. Joust. Back over for the Riverhawks. Savinda kept up by Kuiper. Farrar, too far. Line judge calling in, but he's overruled by the referees. Is this one into the net? And a point for Gateway. Bozasevic will come back in. And so will Jace Beam. 22 to 16. Gateway needs a rally here to finish the Riverhawks in this match. To the right side, off of the block, but into the net, I believe. Yeah, it was Rafe Hankey. Way too close there. Point for Gateway. 22-17. 5-point difference now. Into the middle, blocks, and on the side of Gateway, a point for Aiden McKay, who has started to pick things up here for the Gators, or for the Riverhawks, excuse me. 23 to 17. Served over. Backside Hoffner, and Hoffner responds. 23 to 18. Ryan Hoffner, now he'll be in the back row. That brings Farrar, who plays all the way around up front. Bozasevic and De Palma in the front row as well. Tie on the net, into the middle. That one's in. And now it's set point Armstrong. 24 to 18. Rafe Hankey will serve. Hankey serve, passed up by Kuiper. Outside Farrar has to go off speed. Set from Dosh, tipped over, it drops in. The Riverhawks will take the third set, 25 to 18. We got another set of volleyball here. Sloppy play from the Gators to start the set, and the Riverhawks never look back. Step aside real quick. Fourth set between the Gators and the Riverhawks. We'll be here on GatewayGatorsProductions.com. Back here in Gateway Gators Productions. The Gators taking the first two sets pretty convincingly, 25-17 and 25-18, but Armstrong has responded as that served too far for the Riverhawks at a point for Gateway. So now the Gators bringing back some of the players that you saw in the first two sets as Owen Echegari comes back into play, and he'll come back to serve. He didn't play in the third set. You see Jake Santo in the front row as well. He didn't play in the third set either, so. Served over by Echegari. Title in the net. Back in the air, Keegan Kuiper. Farrar, off speed. Kept alive, nice play by Rafe Hankey. In the middle, Santo, where was that a set ago? 2-0 Gateway. Oh, and Echigari will serve. Passed up. To the outside, off the block, but kept up. Good block coverage from Sam Jacobs. Farrar, that one out of play, and a point for the Gators. Echigari will serve again. Up from Fermani at the net. Santo wins that one. Four 4-0 Gateway. The response that they needed after that third set. Echigari will serve. Passed up. Tighten that again. Sent over. Good play from Rafe Hankey. Served over, passed up by Kuiper. Dunsmore, off speed a little bit there, and Fermani was there for it. To the outside, Farrar is there for it, but a net violation. Brennan Savinda just kind of let his body fade over there to the net. Trying to tip it over. No correction. There's a net violation on Gateway, my apologies. McKay into the net, though. Service error from the Riverhawks. To the right side, and Rafe Hankey. Hankey serve, passed up. Off the block from Farrar. Off of the block, and the Riverhawks, Brennan Savinda getting the point. Rafe Hankey serving again. That one hits the ceiling, and just defensively playing that one was the setter Chase Beam, excuse me, and it's going to be called a lift on him. So 5 apiece now. The Gators serving this one over. Another miscue. It goes back over, and Armstrong on offense. Off speed. That one goes backwards for Kuiper. Farrar. That one out of play. A point for the Gators. 6-5. Thomas Naku will come back to serve. Tyler net. Touched, tipped. Back over for the Riverhawks. Naku sets out. Beam will set that one. Farrar just pushes it over. Off the block. That one's in. No correction. The referee right there, the R2, calls it. Referee called it out. Brennan Savinda will serve. 6 apiece. Into with a jump serve. That's a good serve from him. Passed up though. Getting there is Armstrong, and they put it down. Nathan Rosenberger. Jump serve into the net though. Had one really good serve. Couldn't do that again, unfortunately. Make that 7-5 now, Gators. Farrar will serve it over, passed up. They'll go to Rosenberger, who off speed, off the block, played by Naku. Second ball is Farrar. Hoffner, and passed up by Jacobs to the outside. Kept up by Kuiper. Hoffner off the block. Rosenberger. Farrar in the back row. Big swing from Farrar. Farrar will serve. Passed up. Outside, that one Hoffner off the antenna, and Armstrong. Riverhawks are showing why they have a couple wins under their belt this year. Now we're making sure R2 is making all the rotations correct, I believe. Oh, they're checking the score, correction. 8-7. So 8-7 is the score. Gateway up by a point. Passed up by Gerhardt. Beam. Hankey. Outside. Rosenberger blocked but not down. Rosenberger rolls that one again. Kuiper is there for it. To the outside, Hoffner. Hoffner gets the point. Nice swing from the senior, Alex Hoffner. Or excuse me, that's his younger brother, Ryan Hoffner. With the kill. Keegan Kuiper serving. Overpass played by Hoffner. That one had to be played. Good idea. Beam kept up by Fermani. Rosenberger off of the block, and they can't close that one. Point for Armstrong. Served over, passed up by Gerhardt. Hoffner keeping that one up to the outside. Played to the right side, Beam. Cross court. Dosh gets to that one. Outside, Rosenberger down the line. Good swing from Nathan Rosenberger. And it's 9 apiece. This is not the same Gateway team we saw in the first two sets, and this is definitely not the same Armstrong team we saw in those sets. In the middle, and they get the kill, and trying to fire everyone up is Jake Santo. Chase Anthony in the back row, by the way, who did not play in the last set. Mistook him for Aiden Gerhardt. Now we're having a substitution. Now we're having some problems as to what we're going to do. And so 11 will come in for Armstrong. Jordan Harmon Harmon played in the JV match. Senior in here for the Riverhawks. Sent over. That was almost expected. Rafe Hankey went up there with one hand, and no one for the Gators acknowledged it. Some frustration on the court for the Gators. And now some more substitutions. Savinda comes back in. Dosh as well. Nathan Rosenberger will serve. Passed up. Hoffner can't get to that one while he can and sends it over. In the middle, Kuiper plays it. Outside, Dunsmore. Dunsmore tools the block. Needed that kind of point from Alec Dunsmore. Farrar comes back in, and so does Owen Echegari. Echegari into the net. Service error from the Gators. 11 apiece now. Armstrong, give credit where credit is due here. This team looked dead in the water after that second set, but they have responded, to say the least, and it's a bit of both things. It's just smarter volleyball. I say that one goes out. Red idea, though, from Rafe Hankey in the front row. Just smarter and cleaner volleyball from Armstrong. They're not trying to do too much, and it seemed like Gateway in that third set was trying to do just that. Is this one too far from Farrar, and a point for Armstrong? It's points like that that have been giving the Riverhawks more points as a timeout taken, and Coach Phil Randolph scratching his head. Just wondering what his team needs to do to not be forced into a fifth set. Again, thank you again for tuning in here on Gateway Gator Productions, your home for all Gateway Gators broadcasts. Check us out on the website, gatewaygatorproductions.com. You can take a look at the schedule for the fall sports, winter sports, spring sports, graduation, band, and you can contact us and subscribe to us on Facebook and YouTube as well. We were in dangerous territory there, Lee. We were getting screen into screen into screen. Inception here, screenception. 13-11. Armstrong will serve. Farrar will play that when it goes off the fist of Santo. Santo tries to reach at it, can't get to it. Instead, it's rolled over. Farrar, nice play to send that one over. Keep it alive was Fermani. To the right side, Dunsmore, and Dunsmore will play it again. Someone's got to get to it. Santo pops it over, pass by Fermani. To the outside, Savinda drops it in. Brendan Savinda. Aiden McKay will serve. Served over at the net, and they couldn't put that one back down the middle blocker for Armstrong. Point for Jake Santo. (14-11) Armstrong. Santo serves it over. It's passed up into the middle. Savinda just plays it. Santo will pop that one in the air. Farrar, big swing, and he gets the point. Darius Farrar for Gateway. Short serve from Santo. To the outside, Savinda cross court, and they get the point. Brennan Savinda has started heating up on the outside here for the Riverhawks. Rafe Hankey will serve, passed up to the outside. Farrar with the kill. Almost 10-foot line there for Darius Farrar. The jokes from the bench, he's a freshman. Darius Farrar did see some action as a freshman, but limited time on the varsity team, but the junior gets the kill. De Palma, or excuse me, that's Naku's serve into the net. Phil Randolph shakes his head, turns. It's just things aren't going the way that Gateway wanted them to and the way that they were going 2 sets ago. That one out, and an ace for Armstrong. This serve into the net. It was a bad toss from Savinda. Andrea Lasher, the head coach for Armstrong. Riverhawks are trying to force a 5th set here. 17-15, Farrar in the back row. Kept alive, pushed over, slapped over basically by Jacobs. Nice play from him. Hoffner off the block. Played by Kuiper in the middle, a 32, and a nice kill from the Gators. Jacob Poloski gets the point, and now they're within 1 here in this set. Farrar will serve, passed up. 17-16. Rosenberger is in the front row for the Riverhawks, excuse me. Kept up by Fermani. Rosenberger responds, a point for Armstrong, 18-16. Some more substitutions. Chase Anthony comes back in for the Gators. Sent over, Anthony passes this one up. Bean off the block, kept up. Bumped over, that one is gonna be called out by the line judge. And now we're gonna have some talking too. This is what I always like to call the beauty and the beast of volleyball in high school WPIAL volleyball. Your line judges are the JV players of the home team. I have witnessed sets be lost and won based on the call that the home team has. And in some situations, the referee, now they do have, of course, the power in any level of volleyball to overrule that one. They do call it in favor of Gateway, but a point for the Riverhawks. Nathan Rosenberger saying ball don't lie there, and he gets the point. 19-17 now. Sam Dosh will serve. Anthony passes in the middle, Santo, and Santo gets the point. Bench for Gateway trying to say to use that. They got to use these points. They can't keep trading back and forth if they want to win this match. Passed up into the middle. Rosenberger responds, staying for 1 in the middle. Nathan Rosenberger for Armstrong. Now he's in the back row, and so that puts Savinda in the front, along with Hankey and McKay. McKay. Good serve. Good pass, though. Back set to Hoffner. That one way too far. And a miscue from Hoffner. And now Armstrong is feeling good. A complete turn of events here. Served over, passed up. Santo in the middle, tipped and played by Dosh. Savinda off speed, kept up by Dunmore. Dunmore gets the point. Alec Dunsmore for the Gators. And you can tell that there was laughs and smiles 2 sets ago, 3 sets ago. There's not any more for these Gators. They can feel the pressure. If this one goes to 5, Armstrong has the court tilted in their favor, 21-19. Echegari will serve, passed up to the outside. Savinda, not a good swing from him. And a point for the Gators, and now within 1. That set just not tight enough for Savinda to go for that swing there. Passed up, the light touch, and Savinda sends a free ball over for the Gators to work with here in the middle. Passed up, good pass from Jacobs. Someone's got to get it, Savinda does. Another free ball from the Riverhawks. Outside, Farrar, and Farrar gets the point. Darius Farrar for the Gators. .21 apiece here in this 4th set. Echegari will serve, and it's too far. It's a service error. That puts McKay in the back row now. Served over. In the middle, blocked at the line, at the net, excuse me, from the Riverhawks, denying Santo. 23-21 now. Served again by McKay, passed up by Kuiper. They go to Farrar. Farrar has to touch that over. It's not a good set. To the outside, Savinda tips it. Farrar, good play there from there. Dunsmore off the block, played by the Riverhawks. McKay bumps that one, and so does Hankey. Someone's got to get there. Echegari does. Off the block, and Dunsmore gets the point for the Gators. 23-22. You can feel the tension here in the Henry J. Furry complex. Jake Santo in the background now. He'll serve. To the outside, Savinda. That one played off of the ceiling. Farrar in the corner. He gets the point. 23 apiece now. First to 2. Win by 2. For the Riverhawks and the Gators. Gateway looking to finish out this match. The Riverhawks looking to force a 5th set. Santo will serve again. It's played by Savinda. They'll go back to him off speed. Kept up though. Echegari will set that one. Farrar responds and he gets the point. Darius Farrar, and a timeout will be taken by Armstrong. Match point for the Gators. (24-23). Gateway leads it 2-1. They took the first set 25-17, the second set 25-18, although it was never really close in that second set. Armstrong responded in the third set. And Armstrong had the lead for a large portion of this 4th set here, but the Gators have come back. (24-23). Jake Santo will serve. It's match point for the Gators. Santo's serve is played by Savinda. They'll go to the right side. Off the block, and they drop it in. Rafe Hankey with the point. We're going to extra volleyball here in this 4th set. Rafe Hankey back to serve for the Riverhawks. A jump float serve from him. It's dropped in for an ace. Rafe Hankey with an ace, and now the Riverhawks have set point. Served over by Hankey. To the outside, Farrar. Farrar drops it in. Point for the Gators. So who do we have now? And it's number 26, Thomas Naku, who will serve. Naku serve, passed up, good pass. Backside, kept up by Kuiper. Naku gets to it, Farrar. Farrar drops it in. Back to match point for the Gators, 26-25. Served over, passed up. In the middle, tipped. Was that touch? No, it was not, and that will be the match for the Gators. A thriller and a scary one if you're Gateway. After dominating the first two sets, Armstrong, credit where credit is due, stormed back, but the Gators respond in a scary fourth set for them. They win it by a final score of 3-1, 25-17, 25-18, 18-25, and 27-25. They'll move to 1-1 in section play. Their first win on the year as well. The Riverhawks will drop to 2-4 and 0-2 in section play, but a valiant effort from an Armstrong team that you expect to see a lot of play like that throughout the rest of this season. That will be all she wrote here in this one for our entire broadcasting crew. Our next broadcast will be next Saturday as the Gators will take on the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils here on Gateway Gators Productions. For our entire broadcasting crew, our producer Adam Gusky and our director Lee Schaefer, I'm Spencer Witt saying so long and thank you for tuning in here on Gateway Gators Productions. Good night, everyone.